Welcome back, strangers. Indiana University Bloomington is the flagship institution of the Indiana University system. It was founded in 1820, originally as the State Seminary. Today, it's a public research university with over 40,000 students. It's considered to be one of the top public universities in the United States and one of the most haunted schools in the country. Today, we're going to discuss the legends, hauntings, and tragedies behind the limestone walls of this iconic campus. The Career Development Center building on campus was previously home of the Phi Kappa Tau fraternity. Before moving out, numerous fraternity brothers reported hearing babies crying and women screaming in the middle of the night. Some even witnessed strange apparitions appearing and disappearing in the halls. According to campus legend, the building sits on the site of the original student health center that was known to have a doctor who performed illegal abortions for extra money on the side. He preyed on women who had nowhere else to go in the guise of helping them. However, this happened in the early 1900s, and the doctor's methods were far from safe or sanitary. The women's screams heard in the old frat house are thought to be that of the poor unfortunate women who were his patients. The greedy doctor performed so many abortions that he had to hide the fetuses in the walls and under the floors of the building so no one else would find the evidence of his despicable deeds. His crimes were not discovered until after the doctor had already committed suicide. Before committing his final unthinkable act, he claimed to be plagued by the constant sound of crying coming from the walls and floor beneath the health center. These were the same unexplained sounds that would wake the fraternity brothers in the night decades later. Reed Hall is home to several restless spirits. An apparition of a woman wearing a yellow gown with long black hair is most often seen returning to a room on the third floor. Her boyfriend was a medical student at the school and was known to have a temper. He would often take out his own frustrations and shortcomings on her. She excelled in school while he struggled. During one of these quarrels, his temper got the best of him and he stabbed her in a fit of rage in the throat with a scalpel. He stood over her and watched her bleed out. He dragged her bloody body to a tunnel in the basement of the building and successfully hid the corpse without being seen. He was unstable and became emotional. He confessed to the crime when questioned by the police about his girlfriend's disappearance. Justice prevailed, but her spirit has been repeating the same events of that night, slowly returning to the room where she lost her life. That's not the only tragedy of Reed Hall. The building is haunted by a banshee, which is said to be the lingering spirit of Paula, a former RA on the 6th floor. Paula couldn't manage the stress of school and her job as an RA. She began having panic attacks until it was too much for her to take. During finals week, in a moment overcome with anxiety and stress, she committed suicide by throwing herself down the stairs. Every year since, on December 12th, the anniversary of her death, students report hearing Paula's screams in the stairwell, echoing throughout time as a haunting reminder of what people can do when overcome with stress and anxiety. Most universities have a haunted library on campus, and the Lilly Library is no exception. The library is a resource for scholars throughout the world because of the rare collection of books and manuscripts that have been donated to the university. Many believe that the strange occurrences that happen in the library are the deceased donors checking on their prized collections. Others think that some of the old books may be haunted by past owners or by other unknown entities. The library is open to anyone interested in seeing the famous collections on display, but be careful. You never know what else you might encounter in the library. Visitors report seeing apparitions, hearing unexplained noises, cold spots throughout the building, and books that appear to move or fall on their own. The Indiana Memorial Union is the centerpiece of campus, where students can take a break, relax, get a bite to eat, and even watch a movie or bowl. The Student Union is over 500,000 square feet. It's massive, yet some students still can't find a way to escape the stress of their studies. Over the years, the upper level of the building has been a favorite place for students to commit suicide by jumping from the building. Death hasn't allowed these unfortunate students to escape their problems. Instead, they're stuck roaming the building and its grounds for eternity. Their ghosts are often seen wandering through the building, keeping to themselves, before vanishing. They appear to be worried, like they're still contemplating their final decision. You may also see or be approached by a friendly phantom dog in the building. This friendly but long-dead pup was murdered by students near the building. Now, he seems to enjoy lingering around the building and surprising unsuspecting students. The most infamous ghost on campus is the Woman in Black, who began appearing in 1911. She is usually seen around East 3rd Street and the Dunn Cemetery. She is a hostile spirit and will chase down students back to their dorms as she sees them wandering alone outside at night. She is believed to be the ghost of Agnes Dunn, who tended to soldiers during the Civil War before she passed away. The Dunn family owned a large farm in Bloomington in the 1800s. Most of their land became part of the campus of Indiana University as the school continued to grow. The one condition the family had for donating their land was that the Dunn Cemetery must not be moved or disturbed so that the family's remains would remain together untouched. The cemetery is known to have several spirits that are very active between midnight and the end of the witching hour. However, none of them leave the cemetery like the Woman in Black. What would you do if you encountered the Woman in Black? It is said that she is the least hostile when she appears in the Dunn Cemetery, where she is often witnessed moving from grave to grave, still trying to tend to the fallen soldiers. The IU Auditorium is reportedly haunted by a construction worker who was the victim of one of many accidents that occurred when the building was built. He fell from the banisters and died, leaving behind a huge pool of blood on the newly built stage. The bloodstain remains to this day, despite years of cleaning and new floors. The stain always seeps through. The construction workers like to play tricks and taunt students in the auditorium. He will flicker the lights and sometimes try to cause people to trip. The Folklore Institute on campus is said to be haunted by a former department head. Staff in the building report seeing apparitions, items moving, and things getting knocked over in their offices. These strange events are worse at night when the staff are alone and working late. The upstairs of the building has the most activity. The folklore departments accept these encounters and the legends around the campus to be a reflection of college life. They're manifestations of the minds of those trying to deal with anxiety, searching for proper work-life balance, and the uncertainty of life after school. Thanks, strangers, for watching. Is your university haunted? Let us know your stories in the comments below, or tell us which haunting you think is the creepiest at Indiana University. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave us a like and check out our Haunted University playlist for other videos like this. You won't be disappointed. Also, don't forget to subscribe and smash that bell button so you never miss out on a new video. And as always, stay strange.